What is going on, everyone? And in this video I'll be giving you my UFC 259 title fight predictions and the rest of the card predictions. I'll go ahead and scroll through them. Really looking forward to this card. 3 title fights. It's probably going to be, at least on paper, some of the best MMA we have seen in a while, so really excited for this event. So I'm going to go ahead and show you my picks, and then we'll jump into the 3 title fights. So for the first title fight, we have Petr Yan taking on Aljamain Sterling, and this I think is going to be fight of the night. I really do think this fight's going to be a good fight, whether or not it's a decision or a quick submission or not. I do think this fight's really good. So first we have Yan. He's coming in here being the champion, and overall I think he's a great striker. He's not one that's going to obviously he's not going to grapple with Sterling. He's going to want to keep it standing. He definitely has a lot of good volume, good striking. He presses forward. He looks like a mini tank too. Like, if you watch the Aldo fight, he really gets pieced up in that fight at some moments, but he just hangs in there and he's able to keep going and going and going and going. So granted, he's not the guy jumping over here with all these crazy stances, you know, throwing all these different kicks and stuff, but on the feet he's able to just stay in there, and then no matter what's happening, he just keeps going and going. So in this fight, I think obviously Sterling's probably going to want to do something early with his wrestling, like he did with Sandhagen. I think he's going to want to go out there early on, try to grapple, get him into some sort of tie-up, and then obviously go for a submission, take him down, or try to grind him out. I definitely think both fighters are going to be fresh going into those latter rounds. I don't think, unless they get hurt really bad, I don't see them like gassing out horribly. But I do think Sterling is probably going to want to do something early on versus, I guess he could try and grapple with him, but I just think that Jan's going to be very tough to like hold down on the floor unless he gets caught with something early on. But yeah, I like Yan in this fight. He's going to close the distance. I think he can get in his face, piece him up, and not get tied up with all this wrestling. And even if he does, I don't see him getting taken out that quickly. So yeah, I think with Sterling, obviously he has to keep that distance. If he's trying to go for the striking, keep the distance, throw the kicks, go for a lot of those leg kicks, probably take away all that power that he gets from the legs with Yan, if he can tear up Jan's legs, and then obviously impose his wrestling. But Yan is just such a tank, and I just feel like he's going to start piecing him up over the course of 5 rounds, and then I could see him pulling off a decision. If Sterling wins, I don't think Sterling will win the decision. I see him more winning some sort of grappling to a submission, or possibly hurting him and then being on the ground just teeing off on him. But more likely I see Sterling winning early on with a submission. So if it goes to decision, obviously I have to take Petr Yan. So I'm going to go with Petr Yan in this fight. Like I said, I think over the course of 5 rounds, he can really piece him up, not get taken down consistently, and just show why he's the better overall fighter. So with that, Petr Yan, I'll take him to win by a decision. And then move on into the next fight. And obviously this fight, you look at the odds, it's crazy. It's like, wow, what's going to happen here? I think Anderson isn't going to win. Obviously, if someone would to bet on this fight, there'd be no point on betting on Nunes. So you would obviously want to go ahead and pick Anderson. But I think Anderson might put up a little bit better fight than normal. Do I think this is going to be the most entertaining fight? Not unless Anderson wins big here and hurts her and then drops her and then wins. I don't think it'll be an exciting fight. I think Nunes, like when she faced off against Randame, I think she's going to go for a safer fight here. I don't really see her trying to strike with Anderson for 5 rounds. I think more than likely she's going to try to tie up against the fence, go for takedowns and things like that, and just hold her on the floor. Now, whether or not that works, because she definitely did get she got tagged a couple times in that fight against Randame, and obviously, you know, that could happen here, and then she gets knocked out and it's all over. So I think Nunes probably tries to fight a safer fight, especially with a bigger fighter. She's definitely gonna, I mean, we've seen Anderson crack some people. Whether or not it's against high caliber fighters, that's debatable, but I think Anderson, she has nothing to lose here, so she's gonna go out. I mean, I would hope she goes out, gets in her face early, tries to just, you know, just start throwing bombs and see what she can do there. That's what she's probably gonna have to do. If she wins by submission, that would be weird. I don't really see that happening, and like, I don't see her winning a decision, because I think Nunes, if she gets hurt early or anything like that, she's gonna start grappling. So really, I mean, if this fight goes out of the 2 rounds, I think it's just Nunes's fight. If Anderson can do something crazy early on, we'll find out. But I just think Nunes probably is going to try to fight to a decision. So I'm going to go ahead and take Nunes by decision. But obviously, Anderson, you know, she's got to go for it those first 2 rounds and just try to do something crazy. And then we move on into the final fight of the night, and we have Jan Blachowicz taking on Israel Adesanya. And for Blachowicz, he's coming in as a champion. He's the underdog because of how good Adesanya looks. But we've never seen Adesanya fight at 205, so who knows? Maybe he slows down a little. We don't know. I think most people are assuming he's going to still have his movement, his agility, his pace, and his striking, and have even more power because they're going up in weight. So I think that's definitely why people are on that side, and I definitely tend to side with him, because I think overall, if Blachowicz can't close the distance, get in his face, use his boxing, and just shut down Adesanya just against the fence or something like that, I think Adesanya wins. Now granted, I could see Blachowicz closing the distance, clinching up against the fence, possibly going for some sort of takedown, getting a submission on the floor if Adesanya just for whatever reason can't keep him off of him. I could definitely see that. I don't think Blachowicz's only way to win is if he just knocks him out, because we don't know how having this guy like Blachowicz on top of Adesanya and just brute forcing him on the floor, whether or not Adesanya will be able to pop back up. But like I said, with Adesanya on the feet, it's just another game there. So it's one of those things where Adesanya can definitely shine on the feet. I think he has to start fast though. He cannot let Blachowicz just get in his face and start teeing off on him with this just big swinging shots against the fence or something like that. Adesanya has to go after those legs. You know, Blachowicz definitely has some nasty body kicks as well, and so does Adesanya, but Adesanya really has to mix it up early on, get in his face, just give him too much, overwhelm him, and give him all the volume he can, so he can show him like, yo, this is why I'm here. You know, you can't just get in my face and just tee off on me with your boxing. So I think Blachowicz is going to be overwhelmed in this fight. Like I said, I don't really see Blachowicz knocking him out, but I can definitely see him taking him down and then kind of throwing up a submission if he can catch him there. But man, Adesanya is not going to be easy to take down, at least early on. So we'll definitely see how this one plays out too. But like I said, Adesanya, he's going to be overwhelming in this fight, I think. And Blachowicz, if he can close the distance and get a knockout or do something, he has to get there first. And I think it's more likely that Adesanya doesn't let him get there. So I'm going to go with Israel Adesanya on this one. He has to win big. He can't just get this boring 5-round decision here. So I'm going to take Israel. And I don't think this fight ends by decision. Even if Blachowicz wins, I think Blachowicz would probably submit him or somehow drop him, then submit him, or just knock him out. So I'm going to take Israel Adesanya. I'll take him to win by KO, TKO in round number 2. So that'll do it, guys, for my UFC 259 predictions for the 3 title fights. Really looking forward to it, hoping it's a great card. Sometimes it's not. Usually when I show people fights and we're watching it together like friends and all that, it's like one of the most boringest cards ever. I'm hoping that's not the case. So hope you guys enjoyed the event. Thank you for watching this. Leave a comment down below, subscribe, like if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video.